So I have 3 of these trays made up, each with 72 cells. And I've kind of laid the packets on top to organize how many seeds per item. This first tray is going to be all carrots. If you don't know, 1 carrot seed makes exactly 1 carrot. Now that carrot could be a huge carrot. There's some gigantic world record carrots out there. But I used to always think that you get a bunch of them from 1 seed, but nope, just 1 carrot per seed. So if you want a lot of carrots, you got to plant a lot of seeds. What I'm doing is I'm taking a pen, something plastic preferably, because the dirt will slide off the plastic and not fall back into the hole that you make. And I'm just going down about 1/4 of an inch, just barely enough, kind of burling out the hole a little bit. As long as you have enough moisture and a fine enough mixture of soil or soilless mix, it'll be easy to make the holes, and the walls of the hole will stay up so you can drop the seed in there. They make a variety of tools to increase the efficiency and speed of seedling planting in trays. One of the neat ones I've seen is it's a vacuum system where you buy various different plates, and each of the plates has a series of 72 holes or 144 holes, or however many holes and proper arrangement you would have for your whole tray. And it's the same dimensions as the tray. And what you do is you hook it up to a vacuum and then place the plating system over your tray of seeds, and it'll soak up or suck up 1 seed per little tiny vacuum hole. And all you gotta do is flip the plate over, turn off the vacuum, and 1 seed falls perfectly into 1 cell. That speeds things up quite a bit. But my operation is not very large. You know, if I was doing nothing but garden plants, I'd probably do something like that. But you know, I got mushrooms and pottery as well. Alright, got a little bit of a hole rounded up for each one. Now of course most seeds are going to plant are very itty bitty. So there's a couple ways you can do it. If they're very, very small, you can take a folded piece of paper, kind of like this, what you would do here. You can even do it like right here. Just make a really hard crease and get a line of them going down the crease. There we go. So it's best if you have a separate piece of paper, then you can see them better. What I'm going to do, well, when you get it like that, then you just, lightly tap it, and I'll drop a seed to her. It's a little more uncontrolled. I prefer just to tap a few at a time to my hand, and then take a very small pinch of them. You just kind of roll your thumb lightly back and forth till you drop one. Now if you have questionable seeds, or you have a low germination rate, you're going to want to drop more than 1 seed per hole. About 2 or 3 seeds. That's what I actually did on my first tray of lettuce and whatnot I made, just to make sure that my seeds were good. And then once you get more than 1 plant coming up, you can either very carefully split 1 seedling from another one when you transplant them over, or just thin them out. I usually just thin them out. You see a few of these, I'm getting more than 1 seed in there, but that's alright. 1 packet is 750 carrot seeds, so it's not exactly expensive in the long run. Of course, if you have a organic farm, you're trying to cut costs as much as you can, so best to get as few seeds in there as you need. Keep in mind which holes you've already planted in. Of course, these carrot seeds are a bit lightly colored, so they're easy to spot once you drop them in. But other seeds that are like small, round, and black, you can't see once you put them in there, so you better have some sort of left to right, top down system to keep track of what's going where. Just a few more. It's a bit tedious, but it's not too bad. And there. So anywhere from 1 to 3 seeds in there, it looks like. And I'll just take the package and scrape the remaining seeds off my hand back into the package. Although these packs have some ability to reseal, I'll always take a piece of masking tape and reseal it. Still breathe a little bit if it's got to breathe any, if at all. And then that'll go back in a plastic bag in the refrigerator or freezer. You can store seeds for years in refrigeration as long as they're kept in plastic and not drying out. And now I'm going to take my finger, or you can take the pen again, and close the hole up by taking the soil around the hole and pressing it towards the center. Just enough to cover the seeds and re-level the top. If you get a seed on top of there, just flick it back towards the center of the hole. Most seeds don't have to be very deep down in the dirt to germinate. Some will even germinate on top of the soil if they tell you. Just make sure you read the specifications on every pack of seeds you buy. See what depth and such. Now, the soil really is still slightly too dry when doing this. And that's okay, that's what you want, because drier soil is easier to put in the trays and manipulate. So what I'll do is, after I get all of these planted, I'll take them down underneath my basement light and give each one a very small squirt of water right in the center where the seed is. Just cover that. Alright. Now the next step, actually this step could probably be even beforehand, very important, is to label your work. And these are yellow bunch carrots, so I'm just going to kind of shorthand abbreviate YELCAR for yellow carrot. Now since this entire tray is the same thing, I'll go ahead and just put one label on there for all of it. However, though, once you start having multiple things in trays, you're going to want to label each 6 cell. And I'll set that off to the side. Brown Russian cucumbers we'll be doing next. These are an heirloom variety of cucumber. Have like a yellowish brown outside. Goes more of a dark brown as it matures. Probably the best flavor of a slicing cucumber that I've ever ate. And people really like them. This package isn't... Darn burpee packaging isn't holding up. Oh. You can always just cut the top off and then fold it back over. And retape it if it's like that. Notice too that I'm only making the holes for what I'm going to immediately plant. It's another good way to keep track of what I've already done, what cells have already been seeded. Oh, now see, I got to this one, and there's a hard chunk of coconut coir or peat in there. It's all clumped up. If you get to that, if it's already wet enough, just go ahead and break it back up. If it's a dry chunk, just get it out of there. Don't want any solid bits of anything. No sticks, no big chunks of bark, nothing dense and flat. You want it all evenly chopped up so it gets in there. Now, cucumber seeds are of course nice and big. I only get a few of these per pack too. I got another pack if I need it. I might. Got two in that one. A general rule too is the larger the seed, higher chance it's going to be a good germinating seed. It's going to have less of a chance of drying out while it's been in storage. Come on. Well, I got two in that one. I ain't coming back out. Also probably a good idea when you have seeds this size. You only really need to pick them up one or two at a time. You're not accidentally throwing a big clump in the hole. There we go. I might plant more of those since they're so popular. A lot of what I plant too might not make it to market, or I might have a surplus to market, and so it'll either go to friends and family or I'll get donated to the local food banks. And food banks are always appreciative of anything you bring them. And they should be, because you're giving them fresh organic produce that nobody else is going to give them. Alright. These are a little bit big. I'm going to push them down just a teeny bit to cover it. Just as long as it's completely covered in soil and you haven't packed it down. There's also too things like cucumbers you can also sow outside. Don't have to start them indoors. But anything you sow indoors ahead of time is going to be a stronger and larger plant outside. And cucumbers, unfortunately, are one of the things that get attacked by almost every variety of insect pest out there. And these next ones are the lemon cucumbers. They're like a roundish yellow skin cucumber. Like I said, I've never actually grown them before, or I've never even seen them in person, just in catalogs and what other people have told me about them. So only going to be growing a few of these. I can already tell they're not as pricey as the brown Russian cucumbers, because a lot more seeds per pack. Sometimes you buy seeds and it's like, oh, only 10 seeds per package. It's like, wow, really high value for $5 pack of seeds or more. But just how it is. Oh, you know something too, I didn't. Gotta remember after every pack, gotta label stuff. So let me get this done. I'll label some things. Put this here for a second so I remember where I'm at. Now, because I have multiple things in this one, I'm going to make a label for each cell. I think we're just going to go BRUSC for brown Russian cucumber. You can use whatever shorthand method. Maybe you can get a fine black marker. They can write all that details on it. Maybe even the date if you want. But as long as you know what it is, that's all that really matters. I'm just going to slide one per tray. And those were the lemons. I'll get 2 more. Just go LEMC for lemon cucumber. Pretty easy. I already spilled that. Go ahead and tape this one up. Now we got some striped Armenian cucumbers. Armenian cucumbers are good. They're different. They're kind of a long, skinny, can be curly. They curl up. Usually if they're on the ground, they'll curl. If they're hanging up, they tend to be more straight. They have kind of a ribbed outside to it, lengthwise. At least the ones I've done before. But they have a really good flavor. Great to snack on, just like a hand snack vegetable. And you can slice them up too, to use them as slicing cucumbers for garnish or any other application. And true to any cucumber, you can always pickle. Doesn't matter what variety. As long as you can slice them up and get them in the jar. Of course, you know, the varieties of cucumbers that are sold for pickles are usually sold that way because of their size. They fit well in jars. These are going to be Armenian, so ARMC. There. And then lastly, I have 4 different types of lettuce, which I'll plant about the same way. Let's go Ruby Sky, so Ruby L. Now lettuce seed's a bit smaller, so you gotta be a bit more careful getting it out in the palm of your hand or whatever method. I've already planted with this once, so I got it taped on the back. I only need 6 of them, so you can see just how tiny lettuce seed is. It helps too to have some light or a different color background, so when the seed leaves your fingertips you can see it fall into the hole. And again, I'm just doing 1 seed per cell for these because I had such good germination rate. If I get one that doesn't pop up, oh well, no big deal. I'll just do a little bit extra if I got to. Alright, well, I think you get the idea for those. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of those 3. Then we'll get to some peppers.